The 2014 20 pence coin is a hidden gem in British numismatics, featuring Queen Elizabeth II and the iconic royal shield design. While most circulate widely, rare minting errors and pristine uncirculated examples can skyrocket its value, making it a potential millionaire maker for discerning collectors worldwide. The 2014 20 pence coin of the United Kingdom, minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, is a remarkable example of modern British decimal coinage, representing both the practical needs of everyday commerce and the artistry of contemporary coin design. And although its face value is 20 pence, the coin holds significance far beyond mere currency, as it is part of a long tradition that began with the introduction of the 20 pence denomination in 1982, intended to fill the gap between the 10p and 50p coins following the decimalisation of the British pound in 1971, a monumental change in the monetary system of the UK which replaced pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler, base 10 structure to facilitate ease of transactions and accounting. And over the years, the coin has carried successive portraits of Queen Elizabeth II, with the 2014 edition featuring the fourth official portrait by Ian Rank Broadley, a detailed and realistic depiction of the monarch wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, surrounded by the legend, Elizabeth II DG. Reg. FD 2014, while the reverse, designed by Matthew Dent, displays the Royal Shield of Arms, a segment of a larger shield that, when combined with other coins in circulation, forms the complete royal emblem, reflecting both national pride and innovative design that modernizes traditional heraldry. The coin itself is heptagonal with a curved shape, providing a distinctive tactile feel and visual identity that allows it to be easily distinguished from other denominations, and is struck in cupro-nickel, a durable alloy composed primarily of copper and nickel, giving it a silvery appearance while ensuring longevity in circulation. It measures 21.4 mm in diameter, 1.7 mm in thickness, and weighs 5 grams, and has a smooth edge, all specifications carefully chosen to balance aesthetics, usability, and cost-effectiveness in mass production. Minted by the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, the 2014 coin had a mintage of approximately 173,775,000, making it common and readily available in circulation, meaning its collector value typically ranges only slightly above face value, often between 20 pence to £1 for circulated coins, while uncirculated examples or proof versions sold directly by the Royal Mint may fetch higher prices, around £3, £5 or more depending on condition. And although this coin does not belong to any rare or rare categories, it remains highly representative of British numismatic culture in the early 21st century, offering insight into the evolution of coinage design, the continuing reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and the integration of functional and artistic elements in everyday money, while also serving as a tangible piece of history, connecting current users with decades of currency development, national symbolism, and craftsmanship that make the 20 pence coin not only a tool of commerce but also a small, durable artifact of British heritage, demonstrating the careful consideration of materials, design, and production techniques that have made the UK coinage system respected worldwide, and highlighting how a seemingly simple 20 pence piece embodies historical legacy, modern design innovation, and the ongoing story of a monarch whose image has graced the coinage for over 6 decades, making the 2014 20 pence coin both a practical medium of exchange and a collectible item that continues to capture the interest of numismatists and the general public alike. Next coin. The 2003 United Kingdom 20 pence coin is a fascinating example of modern British decimal coinage that blends practical everyday use with rich historical context, representing a denomination introduced in 1982 to fill a gap between the smaller 10p and larger 50p pieces after the UK's decimalisation of the pound sterling in 1971. And by 2003 it had become a well-established part of British change, This particular coin was issued with the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley on the obverse, a detailed and realistic depiction of the Queen that appears on many UK coins of the era, surrounded by the traditional Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, and the date, 2003, while the reverse design features the crown Tudor rose above the words, 20 pence, and the date, with incuse lettering and the small artist initials, WG, for William Gardner, who created the original heptagonal design. The coin is struck in cupro-nickel, a durable alloy of copper and nickel that gives it a silvery appearance and excellent wear resistance, and has a mass of 5.00 grams, a diameter of 21.4 millimeters, a plain edge, and the distinctive equilateral curve heptagon shape that allows people, especially the visually impaired, to easily distinguish it by feel. And in 2003 the Royal Mint at Uncirculated, Wales produced approximately 153,383,750 of these coins for general circulation, making it a common and widely used piece of everyday currency rather than a rare issue, meaning that most 2003 20 pence coins today remain at or near their face value of 20 pence in regular circulated condition, although specialist numismatic databases list typical market prices for well-preserved uncirculated examples at modest levels, often under £1 in average collectible condition, and like many modern coins its collector value can rise slightly for pristine, uncirculated, or specially struck specimens, but it generally does not command high premiums because of the large mintage and regular issuance, though occasional error varieties such as off-center strikes or unusual planchet issues can attract hobbyists' interest and sell for above typical prices depending on rarity and condition. In addition to the standard circulation strike, the Royal Mint and coin dealers also offer proof and brilliant uncirculated versions as part of boxed sets or special collections, which are struck to a higher finish and can include collector packaging and certificates. And while these do carry a premium over face value, especially if made in alternative metals like silver for limited editions, the standard 2003 cupro-nickel circulation coin remains primarily a functional piece of British money and a snapshot of early 21st century numismatic design, encapsulating the artistic, technical, and monetary traditions of the United Kingdom's coinage system, and serving as both a utilitarian object of change and an accessible entry point for new collectors learning about mintages, metal compositions, design evolution, and factors that influence coin values in the world of numismatics. The 2006 United Kingdom 20 pence coin is a fascinating example of the modern British decimal currency system, embodying decades of monetary evolution, artistic design, and minting craftsmanship as part of a denomination originally introduced in 1982 to provide a practical intermediate value between the smaller 10p and larger 50p coins following the decimalization of the pound sterling in 1971, and by 2006 this coin had long been established in everyday circulation, featuring on its obverse the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, a detailed and mature depiction of the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2006, indicating her title Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, while the reverse showcases a crowned Tudor rose, a classic English symbol designed by William Gardner, with the denomination 20 pence 2006, incuse around it, all struck on a cupro-nickel alloy, a durable mixture of copper and nickel that gives the coin a silvery appearance and the strength to withstand heavy circulation, with a weight of 5.00 grams, a diameter of 21.40 millimeters, a plain edge, and the distinctive equilateral curve heptagon shape that allows easy identification by touch and sight. And although approximately 114,800,000 pieces were produced by the Royal Mint at Uncirculated, Wales, making this coin broadly common in circulation and classed as a C Rarity. Its design and specifications reflect the careful balance of usability and tradition that characterizes British coinage, which means the standard circulation 2006 20p coin is generally worth close to its face value of 20 pence in everyday use, with typical collector market prices for circulated examples around a few pennies to modest amounts often under £1, and even brilliant uncirculated coins commanding only small premiums, though higher values e.g. $2, $4 or more in unverified catalog listings, can occur for specially preserved specimens in coin sets or mint packs, but the coin's true interest to numismatists comes from variations and minting anomalies rather than the standard issue itself, as occasional error coins such as those with misaligned rims or unusual striking defects have been spotted fetching multiples of face value. In one case, a 2006 20p with a split rim error sold for around £15 due to its unusual appearance and collectible appeal. And while that is far from making anyone a millionaire, it shows how even common dates can attract extra interest when unusual characteristics appear. Beyond standard circulating strikes, the Royal Mint also issued limited silver-proof versions of the 2006 20p, for example a .925 sterling silver proof with only about 8,000 mintage to commemorate the Queen's 80th birthday, which have intrinsic metal value and collector appeal significantly above face value, often trading at tens of pounds depending on condition and demand, and that blend of artistic heritage, monarchic symbolism, material composition, minting history, and the ever-present possibility of error types makes the 2006 20 pence coin both a staple of everyday British currency and a piece of numismatic culture that connects casual users with collectors who study subtle variations, historical contexts, and market values that evolve over time within the fascinating world of coins. The 1983 20 pence coin from the United Kingdom is a coin rich in both monetary history and everyday significance and represents the early years of the 20p denomination introduced just a year earlier in 1982 as part of the UK's decimalisation of the pound sterling system, which replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence format of British money with a simpler base 10 system to modernise currency and make transactions more consistent, and by 1983 this denomination had become a familiar piece of change for millions of people across Britain and beyond, carrying a face value of 20 pence while also embodying the artistry and tradition of British coinage, with its obverse bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. Specifically the second portrait used on UK coinage, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara designed by Arnold Machen, surrounded by the Latin legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1983, an abbreviation of Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, and on the reverse the classic crown Tudor rose, a traditional English emblem, sits above the denomination wording, 20 pence, and the date, all created by designer William Gardner and framed within the distinctive rounded heptagonal-shaped equilateral curve heptagon that allows every 20p coin to be easily distinguished by touch or sight, striking a balance between practicality and design, and like most UK coins of its era it was struck at the Royal Mint facility in Llantrisant, Wales from a cupro-nickel alloy, a blend of copper and nickel that yields a silvery appearance and strong resistance to wear, with a mass of approximately 5 grams, a diameter of about 21.4 millimeters, a plain edge, and metal alignment, reflecting careful metallurgical and minting standards that have made British coins durable for decades of circulation. The mintage for 1983 was around 158,463,000 pieces, making this a very common circulation coin rather than a rare issue, and therefore standard examples tend to circulate extensively and hold a nominal collector premium at best, with typical market values for circulated coins often close to face value and modest uncirculated estimates generally modest, often less than a few pounds for ordinary specimens, although the broader market can list values from a few pence up to around £10, £12 or more for particularly pristine or certified examples depending on grading and condition. But without exceptional rarity, this coin is not broadly sought after by high-end collectors. That said, the world of coin collecting occasionally highlights intriguing stories such as 1983 20p error coins struck on incorrect blanks, including rare examples on bronze-colored metal, that have attracted considerable attention and fetched prices many times above face value in specialist auctions. One such rare error reportedly sold for over £200 on online marketplaces, because genuine minting anomalies can make even widely produced years like 1983 collectible and exciting finds for numismatists who know how to authenticate and grade them properly. And while most typical 1983 20p pieces remain everyday change, the year's place in the early history of the 20 pence denomination and its emblematic design tied to Queen Elizabeth II's long-reigning era ensure it continues to hold interest both as a functional coin and as a numismatic artifact reflecting the evolution of modern British currency and coin collecting culture.